Okay, what I'm doing here is I'm making a real simple modification to the only design flaw that I've really found with the ET-73. And whenever that you read up on the reviews, you will see some complaints about this. One of the things which I'm not going to attempt to fix right now is the switch right here. And that's because the switch is like real flimsy. If you ever turn one of these things off and on, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about there. It feels like it'd be real easy to break, and evidently they are according to reviews. Anyway, they got these things. It looks like they do put some sort of a seal that goes around here. Now, to me, I don't really see a reason why they should try to seal off the seal area and everything, because the rest of this unit I don't think is going to be at all that you want to get liquid on it anyway. So you better put it somewhere that you can be, reasonably careful with it to begin with. Anyway, what we're going to do though is we're going to make it to where this the switch right here, which is a slide on off switch, and this switch right here, which is a reset button for it, basically you just push in on that. We're going to make those to where they're accessible with both that cover on and with this cover on right here. So what I'm going to do basically is I'm going to take this guy here, I'm going to mark me a little line right there and right there where I can see where these guys are lined up, just to make it simple. I could eyeball it, but hey. Anyway, take and lay that sucker there, put it over here, put this guy over here. Okay, and then I can get a pretty good idea just by looking at that right there that the center of that switch is going to be about right in there. And I'll make this mark real quick and explain. So I'm basically going to drill probably about a 3/16 inch hole in the middle of this one right here. Same here. Then after I get these drilled, I'm going to mark this clip here just above it. Probably drill just a little bit bigger hole in this to where that basically you can get in there and you can slide that switch. You gotta have to be real careful with it still, but at least you don't have to take all this stuff off in order to get to it. And if you lose your and if it quits communicating between the receiver, then it's real easy to just reach in there with, you could use a toothpick or whatever that you need to hit that reset button. So this should make it a lot easier to work with. I'm going to go drill the holes and bring some dikes in here and show you how I'm going to slot this to where that it's basically a slot on this side in order to get in there real easily to that switch. Okay, I hope this turns out right as far as the video and everything's concerned, but as you can see, I drilled some holes there in that piece there. The one to the left here, that's the one that we're going to notch. What I'm going to do is I'm taking these dikes here, clipping it right there and over here. I can always file this a little bit. Matter of fact, that side's going to just have to get trimmed just a little bit. Well, easier to follow at this point. It's pretty close right now. So that little notch is kind of ugly, but effective at this point. I'll clean it up. Not that that really matters. And anyway, on the other one here, on the clip, this guy right here, I've got it to where that I've got the holes drilled. They're 3/8 diameter, so it makes it a little bit easier to work in there when it's together. Let me put that all back together real quick and let you see what we got. Okay, I hope this shows up also as well on good on YouTube, because I know that the video ain't as high definition as what I'm wishing that it was, but you can get the concept of it. You can get to both of those switches real easy. Now I'm going to put the back cover on real quick. I'm just going to leave the camera on this time for that little maneuver. And that does snap down on there pretty good, and not really sure if you can, how well that you can pick that up. But anyway, that makes both of those guys accessible. Now you still have to be easy when you reach through those holes, mainly the slide switch. Anyway, but the nice thing about this is that when you're out there, you're messing with everything, you get your probes plugged in, and you're doing what you need to do, trying to fumble around, especially if you've been handling any food or anything like that. It makes it real easy to get to. Now, they do have this unit sealed better than what I thought they did, but I still don't think it's a good idea to ever get anything like this in direct exposure to rain or moisture or anything. You know, if you have those kind of habits, you're destined to screw stuff up anyway. If you are getting into an area where you know if you think it might possibly rain, where your grill's out, and obviously you can't bring your grill inside the house, but unless you want a Darwin Award. Anyway, if you decide that you think it could possibly rain, whatever, just get the thing over in a Ziploc baggie and use a rubber band to kind of seal down by where the probe wires are hanging out. And if it's raining bad enough to where that water could get through to that, you obviously shouldn't be grilling. But anyway, that is my suggestion right there on how to make these a hell of a lot more user friendly. Give it a shot.